The psychological evaluation hurt us.
I saw the report. It said Lauren was happy and likely to flourish in either home.
The judge is going to respond better to Michael's situation.
Only because Michael puts on a better show. Any trained psychologist could see right through that.
Oh, right through the big house in the gated community in Westchester with the exclusive private school down the block and the dozens of kids Lauren's age playing in the street.
Where they could be hit by a car. It's a joke. A psychologist spends 2 hours poking around my living room and then decides Lauren's future. I should have listened to Julian. I should have baked for that guy.
It wouldn't have helped.
I think we should have baked. So we get to the part when you say, not to worry, it's all going to work out, that Lauren's not going anywhere. Because I'm really ready for that part. 2 large coffees, please.
All right, coming up.
I want to revisit something.
No.
Amy, I want you to think about putting Lauren on the stand.
Helene, the one thing Michael and I have agreed about through all of this is we're not putting Lauren on the stand.
Well, of course he agreed to that because he's afraid she'd choose you.
That's not the point. We talked about this at the beginning, and you said your strategy would not include...
This is not a science. You know that. Strategies evolve.
Thank you.
There you go.
We have a good case. With my mother and Peter, we can get Kyle from the hospital. You can put him on the stand if you
They're
need to.
all strong witnesses, every one of them, but
not strong enough?
your daughter taking a stand, saying she wants to live with her mother, that wins the case.
This has never been about who has the bigger house, who has the nicer neighborhood. It's about offering Lauren a life that is stable, a life that is safe. It's about Lauren's best interests.
And, in your opinion?
In my opinion, with all due respect, Your Honor, it's a no-brainer. While living with her mother, Lauren was stalked, terrorized, and abducted by an ex-con. You probably read about it. The same ex-con who was murdered in the backyard 15 feet from where Lauren was sleeping by her babysitter, who also happens to be a former street hustler.
Multiple objections, Your Honor. I don't even know where to start.
Well, why don't you start with the fact that not once did Amy bother to tell me, Lauren's father, that any of this was happening. I saw it on the evening news.
Objection sustained. Mr. Kirby, please instruct your client to limit his testimony to facts and evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. No more questions.
I've got a few. Mr. Cassidy, isn't it true that the first 3 years after your divorce was finalized, custody of your daughter was not really a big priority for you?
No, that's not true at all.
And yet, according to my records, not once during that period did you try to increase your visitation schedule with Lauren.
That doesn't mean I was happy with it.
You had Lauren 2 weekends a month. How many times in the past 3 years were you unable to meet even that commitment?
I don't know. Things come up. I may have called Amy a couple of times and asked her if she would keep Lauren for the weekend.
Try 19 times.
That doesn't sound right.
Isn't it true that you were content with the custody arrangement until your second wife, Leisha Eldon, pressured you to petition for increased custody?
No, that's not true. Sorry. I apologize.
No, it's not true.
Just for the sake of discussion, how does your new wife feel about the custody arrangement?
Leisha would love to spend more time with Lauren. We both would. They have a good relationship. Leisha's home all day and would be an excellent role model and parent figure for Lauren.
She's not, you know.
Excuse me?
Leisha, she's not Lauren's parent. And won't be. I just wanted to make sure you were clear.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Miss Steele.
Listen, this has nothing to do with Leisha. This is about me and Amy and who can do best by Lauren. Now, I've always trusted Amy's instincts as a mother. Even after we split up, I always thought that she knew what she was doing, that she knew better, but I don't feel that way anymore. I simply don't trust her. And at this point right now, I feel that I'm the better parent.
Blood pressure's back up. He's stable. Dr. McCarty, why don't you finish off this G-tube?
Me?
Gonna need to see a bit more confidence than that, doctor.
Sorry, you just took me by surprise, is all.
Well, this is a teaching hospital, doctor. Try to learn how not to be surprised. Get the boy up to pediatric ICU, and Dr. McCarty, I'll need to see you when you're finished here.
All right. How about we...
Check for patency and order a chest AP and lat to rule out aspiration pneumonia.
Right, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna need a 4-0 chromic gut suture, and please hold the tube laterally while I secure it to the fascia.
I know I should be used to this by now, but every morning, no matter what time I arrive, it always looks as if a pack of jackals has been at the bagels.
Well, you won't want to look at the fridge then.
Sean,
Yeah.
did you see him last night?
Who's that?
Who's that? Sean, how many foster children do you have who were recently arrested for murder? You told me you were going to visit Eric.
Yeah, I did. I saw him last night.
And?
And what?
How is he?
Do you really care, or are you just making conversation?
No, excuse me. We have discussed this. I'm going to be a material witness at the trial. What if he confesses and they ask me about it on the stand?
Whatever.
Don't go adolescent on me, Sean. Do you think I don't want to see Eric?
No, Eric thinks you don't want to see him. He thinks you don't like him anymore.
That's absurd.
Here.
What is it?
He wrote you a letter, asked me to give it to you. I don't know, maybe you want to check with the lawyer first, see if she'll let you read it.
You wanted to see me?
Cerebral palsy, severe mental retardation, chronic pneumonia. He's blind, deaf. He can't breathe on his own, so he's hooked up to a ventilator. He can't swallow. Food goes directly into his lungs, so now he has a permanent feeding tube. 4 years old. He spent 2/3 of his life right here in the pediatric ICU. What do you think his prognosis is?
Not great.
As he gets older, his problems get worse. You know, he doesn't even cry anymore when we jab him in the arm to start an IV. And it's a good 5 or 6 needle jabs before we can find a vein. Not a whimper.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I think it's time to talk to her about a DNR. A do not resuscitate order.
You mean it's time for me to talk to her?
There comes a point in medical intervention when it becomes an exercise in cruelty. And with David, we are there.
All right, I'll talk to her.
Hey, Dr. McCarty. How's he doing?
Still critical. He tolerated the procedure well, but they're treating him now for pneumonia and a secondary infection.
His trach tube again?
Actually, we think it's in his lungs this time. His temperature's been hovering 103 all morning.
Well, that'll come down. The antibiotics will kick in.
We hope so. If not, we'll do a bronchoscopy and get a sample from his lungs. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, he had one a couple months ago. Same thing, the infection in the lungs.
That's always going to be a risk for him. Do you want a cup of coffee?
Sure.
There's something else we need to discuss. David's code status.
You're asking me to sign a DNR?
If David gets worse, we need to know what you want done for him. A DNR would dictate David not receive electric shock, manual chest compression, or further intubation.
I want everything done for him.
Mrs. Gilbert, David is going to get worse. We need to think about what we're putting him through.
He's a fighter, and he's strong. You know, when he was born, they told me he'd never make it through the night. But hey, we're still here. That little guy is my miracle baby, and I am not going to give up.
Okay. We'll proceed with treatment as needed.
Good. He's a tough kid.
Toughest I've ever seen.
Hi there.
Oh, don't tell me. Let me guess. It smells like...
It's Sloppy Joe's.
Of course it's Sloppy Joe's. Nothing like a nice hot can of dinner after a long day.
Fair enough, Mom. What did you prepare?
Sloppy Joe's works for me.
Grandma, you dropped your mail.
Thank you.
You got a letter from Eric?
You did?
What did he say?
I'm not sure. I haven't read it yet.
Can I read it?
Is it addressed to you?
I thought we weren't supposed to answer questions with questions.
Yes. Well, there are exceptions.
I'm gonna go write Eric a letter.
Fine idea.
Dinner in 10 minutes. You're not going to read Eric's letter?
One crisis at a time, maybe. How'd it go today?
Well, let's see. I got to hear Michael explain what a god-awful parent I am. He was pretty convincing.
It's a custody hearing, Amy. That's the nature of it, you know that. You cannot for 1 second give his words any credence.
All I can think is if he was able to convince me that I'm a terrible mother, then he must have been able to convince the judge.
Michael always was a persuasive speaker.
Sometimes that's all that matters. I'm on the bench, I know. Judges are swayed by persuasive speakers.
The judge has heard only one side of this story. When does our side testify?
First thing tomorrow morning.
Then tomorrow the judge hears the truth. And Amy, persuasive speaking runs in our family too.
You promise?
I do.
God, he's so in love with her. He never bought me lunch.
Honey, it's a bag of Fritos and a can of Diet Coke. It doesn't make him Casanova. Let's run through your witness list. I still say your viable testimonies come from Peter, your mother, and yourself. We'll start with your brother. Get the weak link out of the way.
Peter's the weak link?
He's an insurance salesman. Know what I'm saying? No one's expecting fireworks.
Guess it's not all bliss.
Don't gloat. The stress of these trials could cause Jimmy and Rosalind Carter to snap at each other.
There they are.
Hi, guys.
Oh, sorry we're late. The IRS issued some last-minute small business tax credits, so you can imagine what my morning's been like. So, who testifies first?
Couldn't get her to sign. The DNR on the Go report.
Yeah, I heard. They started the bronchoscopy 5 minutes ago. Listen, Kyle, nobody goes into medicine because they're good at telling parents their children are going to die. But it's part of the job. You did what you could.
Not even sure she heard a word I said. This woman, she has such faith in her son. What gives us the right to say she's wrong?
We're doctors. We both know she's wrong. This is Dr. Redeker? Okay, I'll be right there. Pediatric ICU. One of David's lungs collapsed during the bronchoscopy. They're having trouble stabilizing him. You coming?
My father started Gray & Gray Insurance in 1960. I joined him as soon as I graduated from college. We specialized in home, life, and automobile insurance. After my father died, I branched into small business insurance, including fire and liability. Someday, I hope my son Ned will join me.
Your Honor, the witness will please keep his answers concise. I don't have that many years left.
Is it accurate to say you function as your family's financial advisor?
Well, I have a certain expertise, so I try to, Yes, that's accurate.
And how would you characterize your sister as a financial provider for her daughter?
Well, Amy's done the best thing a parent can do. She's essentially created a safety net for Lauren with a 529 college savings plan, an educational IRA, and half a dozen blue chip stocks in a custodial account. Amy's in the process of ensuring Lauren's future.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. No more questions.
Mr. Gray, how objective can you really be in this matter?
I'm a board-certified CPA. I was trained to be objective, sir.
Now, how do you explain your sister's impulsive decision last year to rent a $1,500 a month apartment when she was living with her mother rent-free?
Mr. Kirby, do you still live with your mother?
Your Honor.
Witness has a point.
Children move away from their parents. There's nothing economic theory can do about that.
And yet she and Lauren just moved back in with your mother, isn't that true?
Yes, she bought the house and decided to reside within her investment. A sound financial decision.
Ah, was it a sound financial decision to pay significantly more than market value for the house?
Well, factor in a weak stock market and low interest rates, real estate is a good... Yes.
That house needs thousands of dollars of repairs. Now, as a board-certified accountant, can you really say it's worth that money?
Well, I guess that depends on how you figure worth. That house has sustained our family for 3 generations. Lauren sleeps in the same room her mother slept in when she was Lauren's age. That makes a kid feel safe. That kind of stability? What's that worth?
A simple yes or no would suffice.
Actually, it won't. Not in this case. You see, what you need to know is that house has been like a fortress to us. Our whole extended family still eats dinner there together 3 times a week. That's something Lauren can count on. In the dining room door jamb, you can still see a chart that tracked how tall we were getting. Our family pets are buried in the backyard. And when you go on the back door, you step over our parents' initials they carved when the foundation was built 40 years ago. That's the house where Lauren lives.
Welcome back. You gave us quite a scare, but here you are. No one can say you're a quitter. You're probably wondering while I'm listening to your heart instead of using the monitor. Well, a heartbeat is more than just rate and pressure, my little friend.
He can't hear you.
I know.
How's his heart sound?
It's beating, but it's hard work.
I don't think you can ask me to simply give up hope. I mean, what kind of a mother would I be if I gave up on my child?
Mrs. Gilbert, I'm sorry, but I don't think there's any more hope to give up.
Well, then why are you lowering your voice? Because you don't want David to hear?
Respect, I guess. Respect for human life.
Oh, is that what signing the do not resuscitate order is all about? Respect for human life?
Yes.
You talk like I'm holding him here against his will.
For me, being a doctor means I get to spend my life being proud of my actions. But whenever I help bring David back, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel like I'm doing good. Do you?
You know, it's all just pain for me. Hardly anything else can get through. If David could just tell me. I'll sign the DNR.
We're both usually there for Lauren's breakfast. In fact, family members tend to drop by in the mornings, which makes it lively.
How does Lauren get to school?
Carpool. Mostly Amy does our share of the driving.
And what about after school?
Monday she has cheerleading practice. Friday she goes to the Boys and Girls Club and Amy picks her up. The sitter takes her to karate Tuesday, skating Wednesday, and clarinet practice Thursday, although she is considering a change to the flute.
Thank you. No more questions.
Ms. Gray, you work for the Department of Children and Families?
Yes, for 34 years.
When placing a child, why does the DCF prefer a 2-parent home?
The demands of parenthood are such that a child is better cared for when 2 parents share that responsibility.
Yes, and yet
consider our home a two-parent home.
Oh. Oh, with you as the second parent.
Yes.
Huh. Would it surprise you to know that last year you worked an average of 52 hours and 33 minutes a week?
No, that would not surprise me.
And that your daughter worked an average of 60 hours a week?
That does surprise me.
Why?
I would have guessed that I put in more hours than she does.
Ah. With the two of you working a total of 112 hours a week, the sitter that you referred to earlier must play a pretty important role in Lauren's life. Is that true?
We also have an extended family. My son, my daughter-in-law, my nephew. They all consider my home their home.
Was a boy named Eric Black ever one of Lauren's sitters?
Yes.
Have you used Mr. Black during the last month?
No, we have not.
Why is that?
He's in juvenile detention.
What did he do?
He's awaiting trial on a manslaughter charge.
Is good childcare really that hard to find?
Eric Black was a foster child under my supervision. I helped him get off the street, found a home for him, enabled him to succeed in school, and made sure that he completed a 6-week course in babysitter training.
So how did this work, that you and your daughter decided that this formerly homeless street kid and future murderer would make an appropriate babysitter for Lauren?
He hasn't been convicted of anything. The events on the night in question are unclear. What I do know is that earlier that day, I believe that he saved my granddaughter's life.
The objection has been sustained, Miss Gray.
I'm not gonna lie, we took a hit.
We knew Eric would be a factor. What could I have said differently?
Ma, lawyers twist things. The judge knows that.
At least you got in the fact that Eric saved Lauren's life. That was good.
But you still think that...
We took a hit.
Oh, Judge Gray.
What are you guys doing here? Don't you have jobs?
Our boss isn't in today.
Yeah, we're playing hooky. Don't rat us out.
How's it going?
Pretty well.
Listen, Judge Gray, if you think it'll help, put me on. I can testify about your professional life.
We don't have a lot of time here, so I'll be blunt. You're a convicted felon, so your credibility is non-existent. The only questions he'll have for you are along the lines of, you say she's a good judge, Mr. Van Exel? Do you also think she's a good kisser?
Okay. Just trying to help.
I know you are, Bruce. Thank you very much.
Hey, what about me? I never kissed Judge Gray.
Right. So you say, I think Judge Gray is really nice. And Kirby says, aren't you the courthouse eccentric, which everyone will hear is new age whack job, who gave birth in an inflatable hot tub in Judge Gray's dining room? And, by the way, how's your ex-husband, the convicted axe murderer?
Man, this guy's brutal.
So, if it's okay with the two of you, we'll just stick with the game plan.
Works for me.
Yeah, you know best.
Unless you can convince Amy to change her mind about Lauren.
Helene!
Listen to me. Don't look back on this day and wonder what would have happened if. You need to reconsider.
No, I don't.
All right. You're up next.
Is it happening?
I think we're close.
How long will it take?
I'm sorry, I can't say. Not long. Do you want a technical explanation of what's happening right now?
He's dying. Is he in pain?
No. I promise you that.
Oh, God.
Are you sure you want to be here?
I can't not be here. I have to be here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. You have to help me.
Nancy, please, for David's sake.
No, it's just bad, man. This is wrong. Please, I can't do it. Please. Oh, my God. Please, Dr. McCarty. You have to help him. Help my child. Please. Oh, my God. Please, Dr. McCarty.
I need a crash cart. You're going to have to move back. What's going on? Where's 1F Epi?
1F IV push.
No pulse, no respiration.
I can't read a pressure.
Charge defibrillator 120. Come on, let's go.
Charge 120.
I'm so sorry.
Tank the line.
Clear.
How long were you victimized by this stalker, Judge Gray?
2 months. Maybe a little longer.
Why didn't you tell Michael about it right away?
Or ever, for the record.
Mr. Cassidy.
Well, at first I didn't want to think this guy was a real threat. It wasn't happening all the time. I thought to myself, I'm a judge. Things like this go with the territory. And then I was hoping it would just go away on its own.
And when it got worse?
I got a restraining order. I talked to the police, and they started posting someone at the house.
But still, you didn't tell Michael, and you didn't tell Lauren?
Well, I didn't want to scare Lauren. I didn't want to make her afraid to go to sleep, afraid to look over her shoulder, like I was.
You were trying to protect her?
I was.
And Michael?
That was a mistake. We were in custody mediation when all this started, and mediation wasn't going well. And I felt that Michael would take advantage of the fact that someone was harassing me and use it as leverage to force Lauren away from me. It's not a good excuse, but sometimes fear can cloud your judgment, and I think that's what happened to me.
If the same thing happened again, if you and your family were threatened again, what would you do differently?
I would tell Michael. He's Lauren's father. He needed to know.
No more questions.
Mr. Kirby?
Judge Gray, I applaud you for owning up to your mistakes. I think that's very brave of you.
Gee, thanks.
I understand your mother is about to get remarried.
Yes?
Will she be moving out of the house you share?
Yes.
Will you be moving in with her and her new husband?
Of course not.
Ah, so then the two-parent household will once again become a one-parent household.
Yes.
Are you then planning to cut back on your court hours so you can be there when Lauren gets home from school? Or are you going to hire another babysitter? Live-in nanny, perhaps? Mary Poppins?
Do you have her number?
What's your plan, Judge Gray?
I don't know, Mr. Kirby. I guess I'll figure it out, just the way I've done for the last 4 years.
Huh. Good plan. I just have one more question. With all that's happened, Judge Gray, have you ever considered that perhaps Lauren's father might be better suited to raise Lauren for a while?
Absolutely. Mr. Kirby, I've just met you, and God knows there's some days when I think somebody like you would be better suited to raising Lauren. It's not an easy thing, raising a child. It means accepting the fact that you are fallible, that you're going to make mistakes. But the parent who does not suffer from occasional self-doubt in the face of such a massive responsibility is not the parent that I want raising my child. The only way we do better is by figuring out what we did wrong. So that's my plan, Mr. Kirby. Just the way it's always been. I love my daughter, and I plan to do better. Your teeth?
Yeah. Want to see?
Beautiful. Sleep well, sweetheart.
Mom,
Yeah?
what happens tomorrow?
What do you mean?
In court with you and Daddy. What if the judge makes the wrong decision?
Impossible. There is no wrong decision.
Then why are you and Daddy fighting? Why are you in court?
You know why? It's because we both love you so much, and we want the best for you. But we just have slightly different ideas of what that is. So we go to a judge to help us figure that out. You understand?
Yeah.
It's all gonna work out. The judge is a very, very smart man. So don't you worry, okay?
Okay. No one asked me.
What?
No one asked me what I thought was best.
No, I guess we didn't.
I like things the way they are. That's what I think is best.
Get some rest, honey. You ever gonna open that?
Eventually. Maybe. I don't know if I can, Amy. If this is an admission of guilt, if he tells me something I shouldn't know...
Ma, that's a crock.
I'm expected to testify at his trial. That's the way I can help him.
Eric has me to be his witness. That's not what he needs you for. Ma, he needs you to love him and forgive him. I can't do that for him, neither can Sean. He chose you. He needs somebody to talk to. You know what I think? I think you're afraid to say what you want to say to him.
Which is what?
Same as me. Thank you.
Thank you. For killing someone in our backyard.
I'm sorry. I'm glad Eric did what he did. And I think deep down you're thankful too, and you hate feeling that way. Mom, when I think about what could have happened to any of us, to Lauren, we could have been facing something a lot worse than a custody fight. All right, suit yourself. Good night.
Amy, put Lauren on the stand. What if it's the one thing that makes a difference? What if it means you get to keep her? If a judge heard what Lauren said upstairs...
Mom, it's one thing for her to say what she did in her room at night. But to say it in a court in front of her father? No. I'm not going to do that to her. Because then it becomes something permanent. Something she did that she has to live with for the rest of her life.
Michael would do it in a heartbeat.
Well, Michael's an ass.
Yes, and a realist and a pragmatist, which is what you need to be in this situation. Helene is right. Children are resilient.
Mom, if I cannot convince this judge that I am the better parent without using my little girl as a champion, then, well, maybe I deserve to lose. Because I am the parent. I am the champion, not a 10-year-old who only knows she loves both of her parents.
You do not deserve to lose.
Guess you heard.
Yeah. David made it back from the dead one more time?
I could have ignored her.
You had the legal right to let him die.
Wasn't tough enough. I'm not tough enough for this.
Tough enough for what?
I should have had a nurse come in and remove her from the room and let the boy go. That's what you would have done.
I wouldn't have done that. A mother is begging me to save her sick child? I'm going to kick into gear just like you did.
I couldn't say no.
What kind of monster could?
What about David?
She'll have to sign another DNR.
A DNR's only good if we use it.
One of these times David is going to code, and his mother will be sleeping or getting something to eat or a breath of fresh air. And when she comes back, it'll all be over. And maybe she'll allow herself to realize that she didn't let him down.
She let him go.
I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but you did everything right. You were a great doctor.
Hey. Well, my mother agrees with you about Lauren.
So you're going to put her on the stand? You know it's my recommendation. And your mother has a lot of experience.
Helene, you are a warrior, and I appreciate that. And yes, that is why I hired you. But we have to do things my way.
All right. I'll inform the judge we're not calling any more witnesses. We still have closing statements, and I am known far and wide for my... What the hell is this?
Are we in the wrong courtroom?
I thought maybe I was early.
Excuse me, sir. Are we still in recess?
No, ma'am. We're adjourned.
Adjourned? What about a judgment?
Cassidy v. Gray, custody hearing.
Yeah?
The suit was dropped.
You don't suppose you scared Michael right out of town?
They were winning. I'm sorry, but they were winning. Yeah. Helene Steele for Gordon Kirby. Is he in? Yeah, we're down here. What? You're sure? Okay, we'll talk this afternoon. Michael dropped the suit an hour ago. Turns out he's having domestic problems.
It's a custody suit. Of course he's having domestic problems.
Oh, my God, it's Leisha. It's Michael and Leisha.
How sad.
This is why I wasn't answering the phone. I thought you might call. I didn't think you'd just stop by.
Did you drop the custody suit because you're having problems with Leisha?
We're not having problems. She left me.
Well, I'd say I'm sorry, except now I get to keep Lauren. So all those things you said about me in the courtroom, that I'm a terrible mother, that I'm unfit to raise Lauren...
I'm sorry. I really thought it would be best for everyone if Lauren came to live with us. It just didn't come together.
It didn't come together? Like a business deal? The components didn't gel? You didn't want to take Lauren away from me because I'm a bad mother. You wanted her to save your bad marriage.
Hey, isn't that why we had her in the first place?
You know what? One day Lauren is going to find out what you are really like, and you are going to lose her, too.
You know, all those things I said in the courtroom, they were true. And yet, you are still the better parent. I love Lauren enough to recognize that fact. Is the crucifixion over yet? I mean, are there any more open wounds you'd like to stick your thumb into?
How do you think Lauren's going to feel when she finds out you stopped fighting for her?
Does she really have to know?
Friday night. Gonna pick Lauren up, or you want me to drop her off?
What?
This weekend. You have Lauren. I'll drop her off. See you Friday.
Tired of sloppy joes.
Honey, who chose them?
Full up of sloppy joes.
I could eat them every night.
Was Daddy sad when the judge decided? Was he sad?
Well, honey, your daddy and I made a deal that we wouldn't be sad no matter what the judge decided because we knew that it would be best for you. So we knew that.
And the judge just said I should stay here?
Yes.
If the judge sent me to live with Daddy, would you be sad?
Yeah. Yeah, I would be really sad.
So Daddy's probably sad.
Yeah.
I could call him.
That would be really nice.
You are going to heaven.
Well, do you realize if Leisha had waited a couple days to leave Michael, then Lauren wouldn't be living with us right now?
Don't concern yourself with what ifs. Leisha didn't wait. Could you, wash the dishes tonight?
Yeah. What, are you going out?
I have to visit a friend. I got your letter.
Did you read it?
No. Instead, I thought I'd come and talk to you in person.
I just need for you to understand what happened that night. My lawyer says I'm not allowed to talk to anyone, but I feel like if I don't tell you how it happened, I'll just explode. And if I tell you, you won't hate me.
I don't hate you.
I can tell you don't like me anymore.
Derek, you are confusing anger with hate. What could you explain to me? How you took a knife, like a punk in the street, and ended a man's life. And here you are.
I'd do it again.
Well, don't say that. Don't you dare say that, Eric Black.
I knew he was coming. He was coming to hurt Amy, and I knew if he couldn't get Amy, he'd go for Lauren.
You knew no such thing.
I grew up in the same world he did. I'm not like you. Or Sean, or Amy. I wish I were, but I'm not.
You are old enough now to choose the world you wish to inhabit.
You'd give up everything for Lauren and Amy, right?
Of course I would.
Then I'd give up everything for you.
I am afraid that that is exactly what you have done. And it makes me very angry.
If you just let me tell you the story of what happened, I don't care about the trial. I can't stand the thought of you thinking I'm a bad person. Please, Maxine. I need to tell you how it happened.
All right. Tell me your story.